Welcome back in, Detroit Lions fans. I got a little story for you guys. When I came home from work tonight, my wife, love her to death, had the audacity to ask me, "Are you doing an episode tonight? Are you recording? Is there anything you're going to talk about?" Sarah, my love, you know I have to talk Detroit Lions football. I can't go a day without it. All right. Something major has to be going on for me not to get on here and talk Detroit Lions football. That being said, please, please, please hit that subscribe button. I don't ask often, but I'm going to be talking about this injury news today. Nothing crazy, nothing earth shattering, nothing to panic or worry about, but I do just have an idea. I want to bring it in and show you guys exactly what the injury is to Carlton Davis. You guys probably are already pretty familiar with it. Let me click this button here. There we go. Cornerback Carlton Davis broke his left thumb in practice Thursday, but plans to cast his hand up and play through the injury Sunday against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, I want to read the quote right down here in the third paragraph. "I can still catch somewhat," Davis told the Free Press and Allen Park, "just the small adjustments in the game as far as using my hands and I guess being a little bit more finesse." And this is the part I don't like. Not too aggressive. I honestly feel like when I get in the game, adrenaline takes over and I don't give a bleep. That's what I'm hoping for, or I think will happen. Um, I want Carlton Davis, if he's playing, to be aggressive. That's what makes him such a good corner, is his aggressiveness, getting up on the line, jamming wide receivers, being physical, and letting them know, hey, even if you're bigger than me, I'm still here. I'm still bodied up with you. I don't want to see him get less aggressive. So you guys see the thumbnail. You guys see that I have Ennis Rakestraw on there as well. Okay. I don't mean any disrespect to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I know Carlton Davis is going to play. He's already said it's going to be in a cast. I get it. I'd like to see Ennis Rakestraw get some reps in this game. Okay. I've been very high on this kid since we drafted him all through training camp. He was some were saying that he was outplaying Terrion Arnold, and he looked pretty good. He had like 3 interceptions, 3 straight days or something crazy like that. Like against Jared Goff, who, despite the Houston game, for the most part, doesn't turn the ball over too much. And he was going against number 1 wide receivers, first string defense. He was getting some reps. So I think with this Carlton Davis injury, and Carlton just had his best game as a Detroit Lion for sure. I think he just had his best game of the season so far with 2 huge interceptions. I think that he single-handedly swung the momentum into the Detroit Lions' favor with his second half play, an interception right off the rip, and another one where he made a phenomenal break on a pass that C.J. Stroud just kind of lobbed up to his wide receiver, Carlton Davis. Didn't give up on the play, aggressive, didn't quit, didn't give up. Saw the ball was just kind of lofted. He had some time to run it down, made a hell of a play, another turnover, more points for our team, taking away points from their team. I think Carlton Davis, for sure, without a doubt, had his best game as a Detroit Lion. And this injury is unfortunate. It's probably going to be something that lingers for, I would say, at a minimum, half the season. I've broken my thumb before, and I'm not a professional athlete, but I have broken my thumb. It is not a pleasant thing. You can't grip anything. You have that. He's going to have that big club on his hand. I assume it's gonna be uncomfortable for him to try to punch balls out. That's where we talk about being aggressive. Okay, and I've talked about this Detroit Lions defense with our safeties, Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch. And they're not the only ones forcing turnovers. I know Carlton Davis is the only corner with an interception so far, but a lot of our corners, Amik Robertson's been phenomenal at this, is punching balls out. So, again, can he play through the pain? Yeah. Is it going to be a little uncomfortable? Yeah. He'll be able to do it. I'm just saying, I know from experience, it's going to be very hard to close a fist and try to punch a football out, but Carlton will suck it up. He'll do it. He's a tough dude. I applaud him for even putting pads on. And again, I don't mean any disrespect to the Jacksonville Jaguars in this episode. I don't usually get on here and talk news, but in our game day episode yesterday, we didn't get to cover some of the injury stuff because the injury report wasn't fully out yet. So I wanted to jump on here tonight and talk about it. No disrespect to Jacksonville. I personally kind of look at this as like, all right, maybe this is an extra bye week. Okay. And I get it. I don't want to bite myself in the ass or anything, but our roster is way better than theirs. They're a struggling team. They should probably be playing for draft picks and trying to get in the best position for the draft. But I know that their players are not thinking along those lines. And they do have some dudes on their football team. Okay, so I don't want to get too caught up, but Carlton saying him playing, that's fine. I have no issues with that, but I would like it to be a limited role. Again, I would love to see Ennis Rakestraw get some meaningful playing time. Ennis in training camp, like I already said, was just tearing it up. He looked and sounded really good. This is a second-round pick that would be, I don't know if he'd be a starter on a lot of teams, but he would be getting rotational time, significant playing time. For us so far, we've really only seen him in some mop-up duty and mostly special teams. I think if we can just kind of say, hey, Carlton, maybe we're going to give you you play the first half. We might see how the game's going. Maybe we turn it over to Rakestraw in the second half if we have like a 21-point lead or something at halftime. That's what I would like to see. And again, I know that he's going to play through it. I know that this isn't like a major season-ending injury. It's just going to be something that's going to bug him for at least the next probably 4 or 5 weeks. Even if he's not in a cast, that thumb is very, very tender. It's going to be very, very sore. It's going to be hard to do a lot of things, especially getting up on the line and trying to jam a wide receiver, being physical. But hey, that's one less hand to get a pass interference with too. That's another thing, another positive, I guess, coming out of this is refs are only going to be able to see one hand because the other one's going to be clubbed up. But just injury news tonight, guys. And I know Sam Laporta is also not playing. He is out with that shoulder injury. Again, if I had to pick a week for a team to come into town and maybe we could rest some guys, it would probably be either this week or the Titans week. So bad news, guys are getting banged up, but it's okay. They're going to play through it. I think Sam Laporta is going to be fine sitting out a week. Again, this is a time for healing. I don't mean to sound like we're at a funeral or anything, but let these guys heal up, okay? I think we have a deep enough roster. That's the better way to phrase this. We have a deep enough roster where we can sit guys in times like this and be just fine. We have a 1,000 different ways we could beat a football team, special teams, offense, defense. I'm excited to see new pass rushers, za'darius Smith. I can't wait for that. We've talked about that all week pretty much, so I don't want to beat up that too much, but I'd love to see a little bit more Ennis Rakestraw this weekend on Sunday. And I think it'd be a good test for Ennis too, because they have some wide receivers over there. They have Evan Ingram. They have Christian Kirk. I know they don't have Ridley anymore, but they're still going against a quarterback in Mac Jones, who's not elite by any means or any stretch of the imagination. So it would be some good work for Ennis to get some NFL real playing time, some meaningful snaps, and try to get a little bit momentum instead of just coming in for a play or two or mop-up duty. Like, let's just see what he's got. Again, this is really going to determine, I think, how the first half goes with Carlton Davis saying he's playing. If we got a decent lead at the end of the first half, I would like to see Rakestraw get into the game. So leave it in the comments, hit that like button, stick around, hit that subscribe button, guys. I'll be back later with another show.